Welcome to class, students. Today, we'll be looking at a very vital topic titled Bureaucracy and Administrative Behavior. Bureaucracy represents a sophisticated organizational form that has evolved to manage complex administrative tasks and coordinate large-scale operations efficiently. This structured approach to organization provides the institutional framework within which most government agencies, large corporations, and other complex organizations operate. Understanding bureaucratic structure is essential for comprehending how policies are implemented and how administrative systems function in practice. This bureaucratic model provides predictability, consistency, and accountability in organizational operation through its emphasis on formal structures, established procedures, and clear role definitions. While often criticized for rigidity and inefficiency, bureaucratic organizations possess important strengths, including the ability to handle large volumes of work, maintain consistent standards across different units and time periods, and provide stable career paths for employees. Characteristics of bureaucratic organization: we have hierarchical authority structure, specialization and division of labor, formal rules and regulatory frameworks, systematic division of responsibility, and impersonal professional relationships. Hierarchical authority structure: bureaucratic organizations are characterized by clearly defined hierarchical structure that establish explicit chains of command and authority relationship. These hierarchies create systematic patterns of supervision, accountability, and decision-making authority that flow from higher to lower organizational levels. This hierarchical structure ensures that authority and responsibility are clearly allocated, reducing ambiguity about who makes decisions and who is accountable for outcomes. This hierarchical arrangement serves multiple functions, including coordination activities across different organizational units, ensuring consistent application of policies and procedures, facilitating communication and information flow, and providing clear career advancement pathways for employees. However, hierarchical structure can also create communication barriers, slow decision-making process, and limit innovation and flexibility. We also have specialization and division of labor. Bureaucratic organizations emphasize specialization, while individuals are assigned specific tasks and responsibility based on their expertise. Training and organizational needs. The division of labor allows organizations to leverage specialized knowledge and skills while creating efficiencies through focused attention on particular function and activity. Specialization enables organizations to develop deep expertise in different functional areas, maintain high standards of technical competence, and adapt to complex environmental demands. However, excessive specialization can also create coordination challenges, limit employee flexibility, and reduce understanding of broader organizational objectives and processes. Formal rules and regulatory frameworks. Bureaucratic systems rely heavily on formal rules, regulation, and standardized procedures to guide organizational behavior and decision-making. These formal guidelines provide consistency in how tasks are performed, ensure equal treatment of similar cases, and create predictability for both employees and external stakeholders. Formal rules serve important functions, including reducing arbitrary decision-making, ensuring compliance with legal and policy requirements, facilitating training and knowledge transfer, and providing accountability mechanisms. However, excessive reliance on rules can also limit adaptability, discourage innovation, and create rigidity that impairs effective response to unique circumstances or changing conditions. Systematic division of responsibility. Bureaucratic organizations carefully divide work among different departments, units, and decision and positions to ensure comprehensive coverage of organizational function while avoiding duplication of effort. This systematic approach to work allocation creates a clear boundaries, between different organizational components and establishes accountability for specific outcome and results. Effective division of labor enables organizations to manage complex operations efficiently, develop specialized capabilities, and maintain clear accountability relationship. However, excessive compartmentalization can create coordination problems, limit communication across organizational boundaries, and reduce flexibility in responding to cross-cutting challenges. We also have impersonal professional relationship. Bureaucratic system emphasize impersonal role-based interaction than personal relationship as the foundation of an organizational behavior. This approach ensures that decisions are made based on organizational criteria rather than personal preference, relationship, or biases, promoting fairness and consistency in organizational operation. Impersonal relationships support merit-based decision-making, reduce favoritism and corruption, and ensure equal treatment of employees and clients. However, excessive impersonality can also reduce employees' motivation, limit creativity and innovation, and create alienation between employees and organizational. Administrative behavior within bureaucratic organization we have inherence to establish procedure, hierarchical communication pattern, utilization of specialized knowledge, constrained decision-making discretion, organizational routinization and institutional inertia, influence of informal network and relationship. Adherence to established procedures. Administrative behavior within bureaucratic organization is fundamentally shaped by expectation that employees will follow established procedures and regulation in performing their duties. This emphasizes this emphasis on a rule following ensure consistency, predictability and accountability in organizational operations while providing clear guidance of employee behavior. Procedural enhancement supports organizational efficiency, ensures compliance with legal and policy requirements, and facilitates coordination among different organizational units. However, excessive emphasis on procedural compliance can also limit flexibility, discourage innovation, and create rigidity that impairs effective responses to unique situations or changing circumstances. We also have hierarchical communication patterns. Communication within bureaucratic organizations typically follows hierarchical patterns where information flows up and down the chain of command according to established protocols. These communication patterns ensure that appropriate authorities receive necessary information for decision making while maintaining clear accountability relationship. This hierarchical communication supports organizational coordination, ensures that decisions are made at appropriate levels, and maintains clear authority relationship. However, rigid communication pattern can also slow information flow, create communication barriers between different organizational levels, and limit lateral communication that might improve coordination and innovation. Utilization of specialized knowledge. Bureaucratic employees are expected to leverage their specialized knowledge and expertise in performing their assigned responsibilities. This emphasis on technical competence ensures that organizational tasks are performed by qualified individuals while supporting high standards of professional performance. Specialized expertise enables organizations to address complex technical challenges, maintain professional standards, and adapt to changing environmental demands. However, excessive specialization can also create coordination problems, limit employee flexibility, and reduce understanding of broader organizational objectives and processes. We have constrained decision-making discretion. Limited discretion supports organizational control, ensures compliance with established policies, and reduces variation in how similar cases are handled. However, excessive constraints on employee discretion can also limit responsiveness to unique circumstances, reduce employee motivation, and create rigidity that impairs effective problem solving. Organizational routinization and institutional inertia. Bureaucratic structure can promote routinization of organizational activities where established patterns of behavior become institutionalized and resistant to change. While routinization supports efficiency and consistency, it can also create institutional inertia that limits organizational adaptability and innovation. Organizational routines provide stability, reduce uncertainty, and support efficient operation through standardized approaches to recurring tasks. However, excessive routinization can also limit organizational learning, reduce responsiveness to environment changes, and create resistance to necessary reforms or innovation. Influence of informal network and relationship. Informal networks support organizational flexibility, facilitate knowledge sharing, and provide alternative channels for communication and coordination. However, informal system can also undermine formal accountability relationship, create inequalities in access to information and influence, and potentially compromise merit-based decision making. Electoral system and voting buying and vote behaviour. Electoral system and voting behaviour. What are electoral system? Electoral system represent the comprehensive framework of regulation that dictate how election function and how their outcomes are determined. This system extend beyond mere politics, finding application in corporate governance, non-profit organization, and informal group settings. The scope of these rules encompasses every element of the electoral process, including the timing of election, voter eligibility requirements, candidate qualification criteria, ballot design and casting procedure, vote counting methodologies, the translation of vote to final results, campaign finance restriction, and numerous other variables that influence electoral outcome. In political context, electoral systems derive their authority from constitutional provision and specific electoral legislation. They are also typically administered by dedicated election commission and may incorporate various types of election to fill different governmental positions. Thank you for listening.